And now they get into that age to where we can actually catch a flight and leave for a couple of days and they'll be fine.
I don't trust them.
He said, but we got to put cameras up in the house, though.
Yeah, I don't
trust
them.
We can watch them. We got to watch them.
So how was it for you guys starting to do ministry together?
In the beginning, so here's the one struggle that I struggled with.
Okay.
When Brandon was first ordained, I let someone get in my head. Brandon got ordained. Brandon was going back to school. We were trying to build a better life for ourselves, for our children, right? And they came and said, he's going to leave you.
Oh, wow.
He's getting a better education. What are you doing? Are you going to go back to school? Are you going to, you're not on, basically you're not going to be on his level anymore. And he's going to leave. And that put doubt. Yeah. And I allowed it.
That's so ugly.
I allowed it. It was very ugly. And the thing that hurt the most is that it was a family. It was a family member.
But were they married?
Yeah. Been married for a long time. And older than me. And it was like, well, you need to get yourself together because he's probably going to leave. Oh, wow. And it was real ugly. It made me think I was unworthy. Oh. And so I struggled for a little bit. And it was Lady Pam, First Lady Pam, was like, you don't let nobody come and tell you anything about your marriage. Yeah. Did God say that? God didn't say that. What made you think that he's going somewhere or that you're not on his level? No. Yeah. When he called him, he called you. Yeah. And y'all a package deal. Yeah. And that's just the way it is. Right. And it took her to be real stern and to make me get out of that rut. Because I was in there for a minute. Okay. For a minute. And I was like, well, maybe she's right. Maybe I do need to. But at that time, I was trying to hold everything else down while he got into school, started getting that education, So I was like, I'm going to work because somebody got to pay. We need to pay the bills. This is a team thing. Exactly. We got to get this thing together. So somebody got to pay the bills. Yeah. And yeah, it was a struggle for a second. But once I got out of that and got that verbal whooping, that's what I'm going to call it. It was like, okay, yeah, no, we need to get this thing together. I'm fine. I'm okay. Yeah. I'm okay. And that's when we kicked off Teen Talk. Okay. That's when we kicked off Teen Talk. And we were all the way in that thing. And what were we up to by the time the transition came? I think we had about 80.
80 kids.
80 teens. 80 teens. And I would pick them up in my little, my big expedition. When I say they was piled in there, listen, I'm glad I never got pulled over. Because it was like, you want to go to church? I don't care. You ain't got no seatbelt. Get in. Right? Yeah. And the blessing from all of that and that willingness, even our associate pastor now, she started with us at Teen Talk. Oh, wow. At Teen Talk, picking up her and her young son at that time. And she even said it today. You guys loved me in spite of what I was doing, what I was going through. You loved me. Yeah. And Teen Talk was great. I was so upset when we didn't have Teen Talk no more because I enjoyed it.
It was a really good ministry. It was a good ministry. I think I'd come and sat in with you guys a couple times, and it was a really good ministry. The kids were, because you guys even had snacks for them. Yep. And some of them may not eat that night. And the fact that you fed them, not only spiritually, but physically, would change your kids' whole life. So it was a really good thing. And they were excited about being there. They were excited about being there. I do remember that. Again, I admired the fact that you guys were in ministry together. And it was like, man, that's pretty dope. I don't want it, but it's pretty dope, And then from there, once you guys graduated from Teen Talk, then what?
After that, it was, after Teen Talk, it was still more of youth pastoring, but it was also more responsibility as one of the associate pastors of the church. So I was doing still youth ministry, but getting just a little more and a little more on my plate as relates to the overall ministry of the church at the time. And then after that, the youth pastor title was removed and it was just associate pastor. Yeah. And then that's when kind of the transition started beginning of just the more of the day-to-day, like senior pastor type stuff.
Yeah.
But just learning it, kind of following Bishop at the time and just kind of watching and being given, responsibilities and, carrying this thing out. But at the same time, that's when God began to kind of birth vision in me as well.
Okay.
And never to the detriment of my bishop, always, surrendered to the house,
Yes.
but also understanding that eventually there's going to come a time where I believe God is calling me to do something different. Yeah.
Was that scary or weird for you to be thought of like, I'm about to be a pastor and I'm going to be a first lady? Because there's a lot of responsibilities in being a first lady. We're gonna put a pin in that because we're going to come back to that. But we're going to go to the hubby first.
Scary.
Or you get nervous. You get like,
Yeah.
what does this look like in my life, in my role? Because every
Yeah.
pastor is different. You know?
Yeah, for sure. For sure. Yeah, there was definitely some, I guess, anxiousness a little bit. Yeah, for sure. Because as someone who really takes the ministry serious, I really think about, I spend time thinking about someone not serving God the right way, right? And me being accountable. In essence, that blood being on my hands.
Yeah.
And I take that serious. And so, to be honest with you, there was a question of, do I just want to not do it because I don't want that responsibility?
Yeah.
So do I just fall back and stay where I'm comfortable at? Because I'm operating good here. I know this is,
Right.
I'm in my zone.
Sure.
Right. But then still having those sleepless nights where it's like, no, I have to, but I don't. And sometimes I'm just going to be transparent. Sometimes, God, no, I don't want to.
Yeah.
I don't want to do that.
Right.
I'm good right here. I don't want to, that Jonah type, I'm going to go on over here. I ain't going to Nineveh. I'm going over here.
Right.
And so, yeah, there's always that piece there. And I'll say to this day still, having pastored almost 6 years now, there's still some days that part of, am I doing this right?
Yeah.
Am I effective? Am I good enough? Am I sure this is what and so I can't speak for everybody else, but for me, I still have those days. Now they're few and far between now, but they're still there sometime. They come up sometime. And I just equate it to my humanness.
Yeah.
Right.
I appreciate you for being vulnerable and honest and upfront and transparent because some people are struggling with what you're talking about. And they think that maybe it's just me. To just put that human on it is like so awesome.
Right,
You know what I'm saying?
right.
Because so many times we hide and we tuck and we, put facades up to where people don't see the human side of what we're going through, So I think that's awesome. And I appreciate you for being vulnerable like that, and just straight out saying it, So that's pretty dope. Now, what is it for you about the first lady, being the first lady?
I've never wanted to be called first lady.
No. So what if they call you Lady Sean?
They still call me first lady.
Okay.
And I'm like, can you just call me by my name?
Yeah.
Even before we fully left VIP, they would mess with me all the time. First lady, first lady. I'd be like, I am Shawnee.
Yeah.
Please just call me by my name.
Yeah.
I didn't want the title.
Why?
The responsibility, and I felt like I wasn't on the same level as the first ladies that I know in my life that I've seen. And yeah, most of them have been walking that thing out for much longer than me. But I'm like, I'm not worthy of
But your
being...
sheep is different. So
Absolutely.
your fragrance going to be different.
Absolutely.
You know what I'm saying?
Absolutely. I just felt like, what I always say, first ladies sing. I can't hold a tune. I can't do that part. Like at all. Like there ain't. Listen, I ain't singing.
You had to
I ain't never. I probably won't ever grab the mic.
Yeah.
And just start singing a song that it ain't in me.
That just seemed like you just trying to pick anything. I didn't see a ladybug on Tuesday.
Right.
So that disqualifies me.
Right.
Girl,
but all that I had seen, they all always sung.
Mm-hmm.
Right. My wife is gonna come up and sing a solo. I'm like, don't you ever get up there and say your wife is coming to sing no solo, because it ain't happening.
When you
It's
do it,
about to be a
Brandon, make sure you let me
congregational
know.
song.
Oh, I ain't gonna do that.
Oh, you're not? Okay.
No.
I can't hold a tune.
You
We're
can't?
gonna be in trouble.
My wife is gonna come up and
Read the scripture.
That's
tell
about
about
it.
some announcements or something. I don't know.
Something that I could do the announcements. I could get up there and do the prayer and the scripture, but everything else, I can't do that. And then I didn't like being in front of people.
Okay.
Right.
I don't. That's a lot of people's fear is public speaking. I don't like being in the spotlight.
Yeah.
I do in the background. Even before we left VIP, Bishop could ask me to do anything as long as I was in the back.
Yeah.
And then one day he said, all ministers are going to get up and give a word on a Christmas program. And I was like, is he serious right now? He gotta be kidding. Why would he do this on Christmas? And how long we gotta be up there? Cause I'll be up there 2 minutes.
Right.
I'm about to read real fast.
Right.
And just trying to get out of that whole public speaking thing. But it's been a fear of mine since I was a kid, like I was telling you earlier. This being in front, having to sing that solo. And I was not supposed to be by myself. It's supposed to be me and another girl. She didn't come to church. I was like, I should have did that. I should have said I was sick and not shown up. Right. And I couldn't remember the words.
Yeah.
And I just ran off into the back. And then I stayed back there.
Yeah.
They had to come and get me.
Oh.
It was terrible. And so I never liked being in the front. I was always a very shy kid. I never talked a whole lot.
Yeah.
Just really I didn't like it. Even now, I get up and I do it because I know that as part of my job, that's what the Lord has called me to do. I have to help my husband. I'm a helpmate. And so I'm going to get up there and I'm going to do it.
Yeah.
But I still be nervous. And he be like, you speaking on Mother's Day? I'm like, no, I ain't speaking on Mother's Day. You got an associate pastor for that. That's not my title. That's not my title. I remember Bishop, before we left, he's like, you going to be first lady or you going to be minister? Which one you going to be? And I looked at him and I was like, I don't want to be neither. I just want to play the background. I'm okay back here. We good.
Right.
You asked me to do something, I got you. I'm okay back here.
Right.
But being in the front just has never, I guess, just never really been my thing.
But that's good because God then stretches you.
Definitely stretched.
And it's starting to look good on you.
Praise the Lord.
It's starting to look good on you. You know what I'm saying? Like that stretching. And that birthing of new things out of you.
Right. And
That's
it forces me out, way out of my comfort zone with talking to people and building relationship with people and things like that. Because I had also cut myself off of building relationships. And I shared this with my husband after a long time. Because I've had so much death in my family, I never wanted to have attachments to people because people die. And so I didn't want to build relationships, and I still struggle a little bit with building the relationships, but because I'm in this position and I'm in this calling that God has on me, I have no choice but to build the relationships.
Yeah, right.
Because how else you going to put the word out there? Yeah. How else you going to do what it is that God called you to do? How are you supposed to go out into the highways and byways if you don't go out there and talk to people, meet people?
Exactly.
Build those relationships that need to be built.
Yeah.
And
so was this position actually the thing that helped you to say, I'm getting over the thought of not wanting to build relationships?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. Because even before leaving the bigger church at VIP, I talked to people, but I wasn't too close to people.
Yeah.
And I think some people think I was closer to people than I really was, or that I really am. Like, I don't talk to everybody every day.
Right.
When I get face to face with people, it may seem that way because I don't miss it. It seem like we don't miss a beat. You know what I mean? You know what I mean?
Yeah.
But I don't call people. I don't talk on the phone. I don't, like, even my own siblings. I speak to them every now and again.
Right. You got too much stuff to do. You just got too much
Only
stuff
people I
to
talk
do.
to every day is my husband, the kids
And
that
the
live in my
kids.
house.
Right.
Because even my kids that don't live in my house, they think they grown now.
Right. Of
You know,
course.
they don't got called their mama,
Yeah.
check on her and see how I'm doing and stuff. But I don't even talk to them every day
Yeah.
at all.
I most definitely understand that.
It's just, yeah, people think that I'm closer to people than I really am.
Yeah.
And I'm really not that close to
Yeah.
people.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So do you feel now more comfortable with building relationships and bridges now? With the title of First Lady?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. It's still sometimes a struggle to reach out, but I force myself
Okay.
to reach it. And the Lord is like, you said you was going to check on such and such. You need to at least send a text message.
Yeah.
And I'm like, I'm sitting in my car. Yeah, I'm on the clock. I'm at work, but you got a couple of minutes to send a text message and check on somebody.
Yeah.
Make sure that they're okay.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? And so that's been something that I have been doing more of as of lately, is just reaching out, sending a quick text message, because some people, you don't know. The everyday struggles of living life in America right now,
Right.
people need a little pick me up.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? And so that's been my my go-to as of lately.
Do you feel better when you do it?
Yes.
When you obey?
Yes.
Yeah.
And then you get especially when you get the message back, I needed to hear that.
Yeah.
I needed to hear that. And it's like, okay, Lord, I hear you, Lord. I know I was supposed to. I need to stay on top of. I know.
Yeah.
I know.
Okay. And so it's like now you're at the point where you kind of got your withal about yourself, about being First Lady. And are you okay with now the title of First Lady? Or
I still want to be called by my name.
You still want to be called by your name?
And I don't know what it is or why.
It's me.
Is it you? It might be him, because he wants to be called his name. He doesn't want to be called pastor either.
You don't?
It's like, we're just people. We're servants of God. We're no better than anybody else. Just call us by our names.
Okay.
We're people. We're all looking to do the same thing, which is spread the gospel. I'm no better than you. You no better than me. Let's just walk this thing out.
Okay. Yeah. And you felt that way as well?
Yes. Any given Sunday or any other day of the week, if you were to see us do ministry, you may get a variation. Some people may call me pastor. Some people may just call me Brandon. Some people may call me B, Pastor B. And I try to make it a point to never correct anyone.
Okay.
Because at the end of the day, my name is Brandon.
Right.
Pastor is what I do. And I understand both sides. So there's a certain segment of the population that'll say, no, that's a honor, revere, put the respect on, right?
Okay.
But it's funny because if I were to go into, for example, if I were to go into a restaurant for a Chipotle or something, and someone was the manager and his name was Chris, I don't say, excuse me, manager Chris, can I have a soda?
Yeah.
Right? It's just like your name tag says Chris, I'm going to call you Chris.
Yeah.
Right? And so I give people the freedom to just, because at the end of the day, my name is Brandon.
Yeah.
On my ID, it doesn't say pastor.
Right.
It says Brandon. But to those that, right, I give them that same freedom to say pastor, elder, minister, whatever you want to, right? Because I think sometimes if we're not careful, in today's society, we can really turn people off by saying, no, you call me first, you call me pastor. And really, now I challenge people too, because that term First Lady, I don't see it in the Bible.
It's not.
Right? And it's funny because, and we can get into this later maybe, but some of my teaching that I do, so in teaching students at the university, I've used it because Shani has come to my class and sit in lectures before, and I've used the term first lady, and they're like, "What's that?" Now they're of a different ethical background, different denominations as well, and they're like, "What's that?" I'm like, "You guys don't know what a first lady is?" No.
Yeah.
And when I explained it, they was like, "No, that's just the pastor's wife."
Yeah.
Like what are you talking about?
Yeah.
And so that woke me up, and I was like, "Wow." I was like, I thought it was used universally.
Yeah.
And so when I found out it wasn't, and again, we don't mind because people say first lady to her. Some people call her Shine. It's okay. Whatever. Long as we can do the ministry, that's what we're excited about.
Yeah.
We're not, we don't care about the titles. That's cool. We just want to do the work.
Yeah.
And again, I don't fault anyone who says, no, you're a pastor and that's what they need to call you. I'm not, if that's the way you feel, thumbs up.
Right.
And to the one that say, man, y'all put too many, because you hear this a million times today. That's the thing about the church. Everybody got a title and it's all about labels. And so you know what? If me not having a title makes you comfortable, if that's going to get you to come to church, come on to church and call me Brandon.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Because I'm just worried about your soul and you getting right with the Lord. Whatever you call me, I'm good either way.
Right. Yeah.
And that's kind of where we are. And so, that's.
I feel the same way you do, Shani. Like, I don't like for people to be like, first lady.
Yeah.
I'm like, don't call me that. That's
like, we good.
I'm like, you're so weird. I don't care for the terminology myself.
I'm like, I'm okay.
I'm good with people just calling me sweets. Like evangelist so and so. No, you don't got to do all of that. And with an engagement that I'm going to for New Year's Eve, and sharing, and she's like, oh, should I, no, just call me sweets. I'm good with that, and because I feel like you don't need all of that, I mean, for those who like it and they want it, that's fine. I'm not knocking nobody for that. But for me, I just feel like it's uncomfortable to me. Like, you ain't got to do all of that, I feel like I'm too dope for that name anyway. Like, I'm too dope for that. I swag too crazy. Like, So it's like, I do feel what you are saying, but I just wanted to kind of know your feel of it, because you have some people that are like, oh, call me this or call me that, and that's fine. You've earned the title and you've done the work, and people revere you, and all of those things, and I'm good with that. But I'm not good with it for me in my life, to each his own, But I do feel that way. It's like, we just gonna celebrate and do this thing the way the Lord wants us to do, and we gonna move on, So you don't gotta do all of that other stuff.
All right, we good.
Yeah.
Right.
But do people sometimes be like, why are you acting like that? Like, why you say that?
They
Don't
think it's
call you
funny.
that. Or they
Some
think it's
people
funny?
think it's funny.
Really?
Yes, they do it on purpose.
Oh, okay.
On purpose.
To see you get squeamish.
No, yes.
And that is too funny.
I'm like, listen, you think you're funny. That's not funny.
So what is the kids call you at your actual biological kids call you at church? Do they? Because I feel like your kids would probably be funny, especially Brandon. Like pastor, first lady.
Mom
He
and dad.
would. Oh, he would.
Mom and
Okay.
dad.
Yeah. Because sometimes he has that sense of humor. Like
Now, if he was talking, sometimes it's weird because like if they're talking to a third party, they may say, or let's say because after every third Sunday we have an eating fellowship, and so a lot of the time after church, I'm talking to people and interacting, and it may be time to eat, and they may say, Brandon may say to someone else, hey. He may say, go ask my dad, does he want us to make him a plate? Or he may say, hey, can you go ask pastor?
Okay.
So it just, and it's the same with the other kids. It's just 50-50.
Okay.
But if they're talking to us, they never call us pastor or first lady.
Okay. Okay.
No.
Y'all are a big jokey family though. So
They
could
would
go
be
down.
the ones to eat at any given moment.
Exactly.
It could go down.
This is a funny time, but to me, it's a perfect segue. One of our youngest members, for about 2 years, she called me Jesus. I know that's going to sound crazy.
No.
I'll break it down. So her mother, she braids my wife's hair and my daughter's. So she would come over. And so one day, I didn't know nothing about this. So one day I'm over there and I have some candy. And she wants the candy, but she's scared to talk to me. You know, she's shy and laughing. And her mom's like, go ask him. Just go ask him.
Yeah.
And she's like, I don't know. So she comes over and she said it, and I didn't catch her the first time. And I looked at her mom. I said, what she just say? She said, ask him again. And she said, excuse me, Jesus, may I have some candy, please? And I said, all right, so I don't know what to say. I said, yeah, sweetheart, you can have the candy. And so my kids are like, we're all just kind of getting a kick out of it.
Yeah.
And so I thought about it, and I sat there, and I told her mom, I said, why does she call me Jesus? And she said, she associates you with church. And she knows that in church, we talk about Jesus. So she's about 3 at the time. She said, so in her mind, you're Jesus.
Right.
And I sat there and I battled it. So next time it happened, she did it again and someone corrected her. And I said, no, don't correct her. And he said, well, why not? I said, because to me, I know I'm not Jesus. Y'all know I'm not Jesus.
Yeah.
But it's an honor that she associates me with such. So in her young mind, when she sees me, she sees Jesus. This is the person that teaches me Jesus.
Yeah.
I said, so she's going to get older and stop doing it. But for now, just let her work this out in her head. Right. And so I took it as an honor. Like, I must be doing something right, that she makes that correlation. Okay. When I see him, I remember Jesus. I remember we talk about Jesus at church.
Yeah.
So that means we doing something right. And now that she's 6, now it's pastor. So she knows different now, but that was so funny to me.
To me, it's Corey used to call Dr. Scoggins Jesus. He would put a Tupperware bowl on his head with the little brim, because Pastor Dr. Scoggins would wear those Godfather hats. Or what are they called? The pompadours, or what are those hats?
I know what you're talking about. Yeah.
And so it has like a brim, but it's not the big hats.
Fedora?
Is it fedora?
I think it's fedora.
Okay. And so he would wear rain boots and his regular clothes and rain boots. And he would put this Tupperware bowl on his head, and he would walk around. I got a hat like Jesus. I got a hat like Jesus. I got me a hat like Jesus. And he would do that all the time. And we just thought it was so hilarious because I knew that he associated the Bible, church, with the pastor.
Exactly.
And that he was bigger than life to him at that time. You know, so I understand. That's why I kind of like wasn't like, what?
Yeah.
Because Corey was the same way. And he would wear that hat. I mean, it wasn't even no hat. Lord, look at me. That Tupperware bowl. And people would be like, why you always let that boy
he all right.
walk around with that Tupperware bowl, sitting around looking like Rain Man? Like, I said, well, don't you worry about my baby. You ain't got to look at it. Turn your head if you don't like to see it. But I'm not going to disturb the fact that he got a hat like Jesus. The fact that he wants something like Jesus was all right with me. So you turn your nappy head monkey self on and go on and have a good day. Get out of my business. You feel better when you mind your business. That's all I need to say. But yeah, I understand.
Little kids are absolutely hilarious with the way that their minds work. And I love being around the little kids because it keeps you humbled. First of all, kids are honest.
Brutally.
They're going to tell you the truth. They're going to tell you the truth. And just to have a heart as pure as a child is just, I mean, for one, it's biblical.
Yeah.
But just to be around them, it keeps you young and it keeps you grounded.
Yeah.
For sure.
I remember when Juicy was probably about 3 or 4, and we were in Modesto still attending VIP. And I was like, oh, I'm going to go to the gym. So I go to the gym. I come back like an hour and a half later, and he says, Mom, I thought you said you were going to the gym. I said, I did go to the gym, Stink. He's like, oh, it didn't work. You need to go again because you're still fat. It be
Child,
I just started down laughing.
Oh,
I
my
wasn't
goodness.
mad or nothing. I just started laughing. I said, I might need to go back out again and do it all over again. That was so hilarious to me. And like, he's
That's
still
kids.
just like, but that's him. Like, honest. Like sometimes, like I think people even say he rude because they say I'm rude, you know. And so I've been working on that. I now no longer give people unsolicited opinions.
I like that. I like that.
Yeah, I no longer do that because that would, you know, he got it from somewhere, which would be me.
Right.
He didn't get it from daddy, he get it from me. I'm like, oh, girl, them hips spreading. You looking a mess in them jeans. You know, and it's like, why would you say that? But I would literally say that.
Holy Spirit like that. That was unsolicited.
Yeah, exactly.
Take it back.
Yeah,
Take it back.
You can't take that back. Once you put it out, you can't take it back.
It's out.
And that's one thing I learned too is that, you know, watch what you say, because you can't help nobody unforget what you heard, what they heard.
Yeah.
You know, and sometimes that stuff cut deep.
I teach on that all the time.
Do you?
Yeah, our words have value, is what I say, and they're the one thing. If you really, I mean, when you really think about it, that's the one thing. No matter how hard we try, we can't take it back. Now we can try to make amends.
Yeah.
But we can't take it back. Once words leave our mouth, they're gone for good.
Yes.
Right? And so I think that's why the Bible speaks so intently about the tongue and the damage that it can do. Because I think that once it's out there, and I truly believe that when we apologize, it's genuine.
Yeah.
We mean it with all of our heart.
Sure.
But the damage that has been done, and that person may forgive us, and they may really forgive, but it's, the words are there.
Yeah.
The words are there. And I tell people all the time, words have value. Words are powerful. And they need to be issued wisely.
I like
Wisely.
that
They need to be issued wisely. Yeah, because they do more damage than we think.
Why do you say issue? Issued.
Because when you look at, if we look at something of value, right? When my kids want money, I issue it to them.
Okay.
Right? Generally, when something holds value, it's issued. Like, for example, working in schools, at the beginning of the semester, they have all the children come so we can issue them books.
Okay.
Because they have value.
Yeah.
Right? And so I think if we didn't just spit words out, but we issued them, then I think we would keep a better inventory on what comes out of us.
Come on now. Come
Yeah,
on now.
I think that,
Yes.
So I kind of like that.
Yeah, I
issue.
do too.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's why I picked up on that
Yeah.
word. I'm like, I like that. Let's see where you're going with that.
Oh, yeah.
Pastor B, Brandon. I love that. Like, that just changed me forever. Want you to know that.
Praise God.
That just changed me forever. To know that you issue a word. You don't just spew it out. You don't spit it out. You don't just vomit on people. You issue it. And when you think of it, when you give somebody their issue, you're rationing it out.
Right.
You know what I'm saying?
Right.
So,
Right.
come on now.
Right.
Come on now. He done sat down and learned me something.
Holy Spirit, activate
Then
up.
learned me something. Come on now. Yes.
Learned or something.
Yeah.
Sound like your
Grand-grand,
grand.
yeah.
Hey, you done learned me. I said, old Pastor B done learned me.
Oh, you know.
He done learned this old black gal.
His great grandmother his grandmother used to say that all the time. I'm gonna learn you something.
Talking to the little kids.
Get over here and sit down. I'm gonna learn you something.
Yeah,
The first time she said that, I was thinking,
learn you something.
she gonna learn something. Because this is when Brandon was little.
Yeah,
I'm
Brandon
like,
was little.
she gonna learn them something.
Yeah.
And we was all looking.
That's an old Southern
Yeah.
thing.
like,
I wasn't
okay,
gonna say
we
nothing
wasn't
to her.
gonna-
Yeah.
we wasn't
We
gonna
gonna sit there.
Because you like
gonna learn
your
too.
teeth.
Yeah.
You like your teeth.
Yeah, there you go. Because she might have learned us something. Yeah, I'm
Sit on
gonna
down and learn with you.
For sure, for sure. Yeah, I didn't got learned something.
sit
I
on down and shut
appreciate
up.
that. Wow, that really just changed me forever.
Oh, praise God.
Knowing that you are issued because it has value. Because a word can really break or make someone.
Absolutely.
Like the way you uplift somebody, the way you encourage them, you can also tear them down.
Right.
And they'll never be the same.
Right.
Even though they say they forgive you, it still cuts. You know what I'm
learned
saying?
that with our kids in sports. How even when you're speaking with children and how your interactions with children can make or break. Little Brandon used to love to play basketball.
Mhm.
Oh, he loved basketball. I was like, I got me a basketball player. We about to play basketball. This is what we doing. And he had a couple of coaches. He had moved up. He's playing above his age level, and for a travel team. And first of all, travel ball is a whole nother beast, right? And I don't think I knew what I was getting into. I wanted him to play basketball, but I don't know if I wanted him to play basketball.
Yeah.
You know, up and down the highways and missing church to try to I was like, we're not doing this. Wait a minute. But on that team, that coach, those coaches, they had two coaches. One of them really poured in to the kids and poured into Brandon, and Brandon loved him. The other one broke him to where he didn't want to play basketball anymore. He's like, we missed the end of the year tournaments, the big tournaments and everything, because he was like, I'm not doing it.
Yeah.
I'm not doing it. But it also taught him how to have a voice for himself.
Okay.
Excuse me, because even for football, he didn't even play in it was like a championship game or something. He turned his jersey in.
Oh, really?
After being mistreated.
Okay, come on, man.
And it was like, yeah, no, I'm good.
Yeah.
Thank you for the opportunity.
Yes, come on.
To play, but I don't think this is going to be for me.
Yes, yes.
Because of the way that he was treated. And thank God we're the parents that we are, because we're able to see things and mold things and turn them in the right direction. Because he left basketball and did not want to do that thing anymore.
Yeah.
But for football, after talking with him with that whole thing with basketball, with football, he still continued to play and get through that adversity and, you know, being mistreated and talked to any type of way because you're the new kid on the block.
Yeah.
And that next year that he did decide to go back and play, ended up with the best coach ever that really poured into the kids. The one thing was, this was supposed to be a Christian organization, and you guys are not acting very Christian-like.
Yeah, yeah. But just because it's that, some people don't know what that really means or what that looks like, you know, because maybe they haven't seen it, or they're going off of old traditions and old ways.
And
you know,
I think that was part of it.
Thing.
Absolutely.
Yeah,
I believe that was really part of it.
Because you should uplift, you know,
absolutely, especially when dealing with little ones. You know, because like you said, words make or break.
It does.
And for children that are supposed to be, we're supposed to be coming in, especially being a Christian organization, we are not only supposed to be pouring in and uplifting these kids, but we're supposed to be showing them how to be Christ-like.
Yes.
Let me go get you the word.